Hello and welcome back to another MC Championship video. Today I will be attempting to rank all 10 teams for the upcoming Minecraft Championship 19 event, which takes place on Saturday 11th December 2021. This analysis is full of stats and unbiased opinions about each team as well as my own personal ranking, so don't be offended if your predictions don't match mine. That's all part of the fun. And before we begin, please consider subscribing, as only a small percentage of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. And people, we're almost at 500 subscribers, so I'd appreciate anyone who wants to hit that red button. Alright, time for the disclaimer. As always, what I say about the teams in terms of statistics is completely true, and I have no hate towards anyone in this MCC, and this should be taken into account when I present my opinions as well as my ranking. Where I place each team should not be seen as bias or hate towards anyone on that team. If you're genuinely confused, then I suggest you look up the definition of opinion. I can confidently say that due to the sheer randomness of MCC, I am most certainly wrong in probably all of my predictions. Indeed, it is difficult to account for the coin multiplier and how players will choose to perform on the day, and indeed, the incredible balancing of the teams undertaken by the one and only S Major ensures that every team has a decent shot of winning the entire event. Finally, if you have something that you would like to say, for example about a certain team or indeed just your own ranking, then feel free to leave them in the comments but without any toxicity. Phew, that was a huge disclaimer. Right, shall we look at some teams now? Last place are the Sapphire Scientists, a team consisting of Critic Zeus, Vixella, James Turner and Dr. Gluon. The obvious last place team, but for the Simmers it does not matter, since they are all about having fun rather than performing well in the event. The Simmers usually play together in every third event and usually finish in 10th place in almost every game, and by a lot. However, I can expect their team scores to be higher than their average team scores. See, normally they amass around 6,000 multiplied coins altogether, but Zeus and Vixella teamed with the deadly Fruit Ninja duo of Fruitberries and Illumina in MCC 17, where they made it to Dodgebot, so perhaps those two Simmers in particular have managed to pick up some helpful tips about the games from Fruit Ninja. So last place without a doubt, but a fun POV to watch nonetheless. In 9th place, the Mint Mistles, the team consisting of Smallish Beans, Martin in the Littlewood, False Symmetry and Rendog. Also the same team as the MCC 15 Purple Pandas, but with Joel instead of Illumina. That being said, the MCC 15 Purple Pandas were already one of the weaker teams going into that event, so as expected this team is also on the lower ranks for this event. MCC 15's Purple Pandas managed 5th place as a team, and they made it clear that it was the team games that they excelled at rather than PvP or movement. Joel is the strongest player here and managed 6th place in MCC 16, among other solid performances, which proves he's a capable top 15 player. False and Ren have teamed on several occasions before, and Joel and Martin have also teamed with each other in the past, so it's a good team with lots of chemistry at the very center of their skill set. But when compared to the rest of the teams, a visible team leader is lacking here, so perhaps an arduous effort is required if they want to reach anywhere near Dodgeball. In 8th place we have the Cerulean Candy Canes, the team consisting of H-Bomb, Ryguy Rocky, Awesome Dude and V Gumio. Admittedly, a terrible team name in my opinion, but instead I have to focus on the team members rather than the actual team name. H-Bomb appears to be the team captain here and has performed really well so far in Season 2, considering he's been getting some of the weaker teams at recent events. Also the Sands of Time King, and that's a game which the team should definitely save for last. Ryguy Rocky last played in a canon event back in MCC 12 in November 2020, where he proved to be an average all-round participant. However, he did participate in the recent non-canon All-Stars event, so his knowledge of the newer games such as Grid Runners is up to scratch. Gumio joined MCC in episode 17 in September, and in her 2 events she has finished bottom 10 individually, yet one of the most supported players in the event. Awesome Dude may have only played just one event, joining in MCC 18 with a 36th place finish, but he has the potential to improve, and he has demonstrated that with his capabilities in the Dream Manhunt Speed Hunter vs Hunter videos. Here's an example of a really good communication team who should strive for team games such as Sands of Time and Buildmart. 7th place are the Yellow Yetis, the team consisting of Quig, Captain Sparkles, Kara Corvus and Michael McChill. A fun team featuring the All-Stars duo of Kara and Michael, the other duo of Captain and Kara, and the duo of Quig and Kara as seen in MCC 14. Quig is the so-called S tier, and his stats do not indicate otherwise. He is a PvP and movement beast, and every time he has played Grid Runners, his team has finished first in that game. Captain Sparkles is the next best player with noticeable improvements throughout every single event he has ever played in, and for the last event of the year he might be trying even harder to get his first win and hit the top 10 individual placement. Kara and Michael go hand in hand as they are both below average players, mostly finishing bottom 10 individually, particularly Kara for Season 2. A game I can see this team doing well in is Battlebox, perhaps Quig handling melee close range fights and the other 3 offering bow shots for long distance damage. 6th place are the Purple Penguins, a team consisting of Wisp, Tapao, CPK and Neachu. Another fun team with chill vibes expected. CPK is one of the largest grinders of all time and takes advantage of his movement ability when practicing for Ace Race. He's managed to break into the top 10 individual placements twice in a row in Season 2, which shows his extreme dedication. He teamed with Tapao in MCC 9, and Tapao has had an interesting set of stats from previous events. You see, he can finish as low as 18th as he did in MCC 14, but as high as 2nd as he did in MCC 15, but more recently he's been handling decent top 15 placements, and his teams have been doing very well. Wisp, an average player, typically finishing slightly below average in most events, and one of his best games is BattleBox, where he is the only player in the entire event's history to have had 2 perfect BattleBox games in MCCs 13 and Pride 21. Just a cool little fact to throw out to highlight his PvP capabilities. Nichu is still statistically one of the weakest MCC players of all time, so it's no surprise that she is once again the nerf on her team, but on the whole a very strong PvP based team. In 5th place, the Pink Presence, the team consisting of Smager, Wilbur, Jack Manifold, and Shovel. Also the same team as the MCC 17 Yellow Yaks, but with Jack instead of Ranbu. The Smager and Shovel dynamic duo returns once again. Honestly, it's getting a bit repetitive, but whatever. They're both average support players with varying placements. Scott can hit top 10 sometimes, and Shovel recently finished 20th place in MCC 17. Joining them are Dream SMP members Wilbur and Jack. Wilbur has also seen general improvement, and in recent events has finished in the 11th to 20th place range. And I noticed that I have been underestimating some of Wilbur's teams recently, but I think 5th is generous here since the MCC 17 Yellow Yaks got to 3rd place with Ranbu, but since Jack is statistically a weaker player that may let this team down. Regardless, the vibes will be immaculate in every game. A reasonable PvP team, however, their team games are where they can pop off considering their great chemistry. In 4th place, we have the Gingerbread Men, the team consisting of Pizza Hut, Grian, Solidarity Gaming, and Gemini Tay. What an incredible team name. I don't know how they didn't think of it for MCC 13 last year. Yet another iconic duo of Pete and Grian, who have recently teamed together several times for Season 2. Pete is statistically the strongest MCC player of all time, so no doubt he'll be able to support his team with morale boosts. Grian has had some pop-off events, notably in MCCs 16 and 17, but since then his performance has slowly dropped to a bit below the average. But I don't think that epic Sky Battle play in MCC 17 is the last we'll see from Grian. He's teamed with Solidarity and Gemini Tay before, so already a lot of chemistry has been put in place even before the event. Both Jimmy and Gem are below average players, however, can definitely hold their own with movement games. I reckon this team may get overwhelmed in PvP games, but where they can really make a comeback is with the team games, definitely Sands of Time and Build Mark. In 3rd place, the Emerald Elves, consisting of Dream, Ranbu, Tubbo, and Slimecicle, featuring the only newcomer to the event, Slimecicle. We have no way of truly indicating his Minecraft competence since we don't really know about his experience with stress management during a tournament like MCC, but with good friends around him, he could make a good debut. Highly requested first time team up of Dream and Ranbu, both really good team leaders, with Dream usually top 10 and Ranbu mostly top 15, with 9th place in MCC 17. Tubbo coming back from his first canon win in MCC 18 and may well be seeking the back-to-back dub. He's a fun teammate with a lot of knowledge about PvP and movement mechanics. Also, Dream is looking to get his 5th win and would become the first player to do so. And this is a strong team, particularly for PvP and movement. So this may well be the event if they stay track for communications. The runner-up team are the Red Reindeer, the team consisting of Pons, George Found, Crinios, and Eret. You may well partially recognize this team as the team that won MCC 13, the Teal Turkeys. Only instead of Illumina, we have George this time. Pons is a positive team leader and one of the best combat participants with strong stats in all the PvP-based games, which are BattleBox, Sky Battle, and survival games. George is a loud and not very calming teammate who apparently never dies in Sands of Time, also coming off of his best individual performance yet with 8th place in MCC 18. Crinios and Eret just teamed on the MCC All-Stars Aqua Axolotls, but that team came last. Both have seen a noticeable decline in their recent performances, but Eret is noted to be one of the best support players a team could ever have, since he always manages to keep the team calm and composed. He's also teamed with George a few times in Season 1 last year, so clearly an insanely strong PvP team, but according to statistics, it just isn't as strong as the Teal Turkeys, the team consisting of Sapnap, Tommy Innit, Filza, and Snag. What a team! Also, really annoying that Sapnap is now always getting the strongest teams. We get it, he's a supposed S-tier player. It's much better to give other teams a better chance rather than give Sapnap that better chance. A good example of the kind of team Sapnap should be getting is the MCC 16 Green Guardians. He joins casual players Tommy and Filza, both of whom choose to play just for fun and for memes and content. Filza's Season 2 stats have been excruciatingly poor, so I guess this team is justifiable even with Sapnap. I do think Filza now deserves a strong PvP team like this one. Finally, Snag has had two contrasting events, 34th place in MCC 17 and then 12th in MCC 18, but he seems like a top 15 player. Could this team live up to the MCC 13 winners and secure another win for the Teal Turkeys in back-to-back Christmas events? Only the game order will tell. So that's my personal ranking for the MCC 19 teams. Let me know down below in the comments of your own ranking. I'd love to see your own opinions about these amazing teams. Well, I've been your host. I hope you found this video informative and enjoyable, and I'll catch you all in the next MCC video. See ya!